Greetings, everyone. This is Long Nu. Welcome to Spiritual Science. Eat bread and go back home, back to the spiritual sky. Today, I want to talk about the simplicity of eating very simple food and the concept of offering this food to God or to the Creator with love and devotion, and how by doing this very simple act, you can go back home, back to the spiritual sky, the spiritual world, and become liberated from this material world, the cycle of birth and death. So let me explain a little more what I mean here. Basic foods, as I've been discussing in my previous video about vegetarianism in Buddhism, how Buddha taught that we should eat very basic, simple foods, that we should not eat sentient beings, that we should refrain from eating meat, and that we should eat foods that are just very simple. And this concept I was thinking about lately in terms of bread, because bread is one of the most basic, universal foods that almost every culture has some form of bread. Now, today I made a low-carb bread, and this, I call it cake. I call this chocolate cake, but really there's no sugar in it, so you could essentially call it chocolate bread. But just a simple meal of chocolate bread or any kind of bread, and with a little cup of milk side by side. You can even dip your bread into the milk, and it's sufficient to sustain your life. And you don't need such elaborate foods. You don't need all these things. You can actually live very simple on very few foods. And this combination of eating just a little bit of bread and some milk is perfect nutrition. For one thing, milk is a perfectly nutritious food. But to give yourself a little more energy for hard work and labor and whatever you might be doing in your life, that's where the bread fulfills you. It's one of those very psychologically, emotionally comforting type of foods that you can eat. And I'll just go ahead and give you my simple recipe here, but you can make this with any flour you want. But basically, just a very quick rundown on this recipe is I am on a low-carb diet, a ketogenic diet, so I use peanut flour. Peanut flour basically is going to be a half cup of peanut flour. You're going to use a little bit of baking soda. You're going to use some cocoa powder if you want to make it chocolate. And you can do this recipe with dairy or without dairy. And so if you're using with dairy, you would use a little bit of butter. I use a little bit of palm shortening. And you can use coconut milk, or you can use any type of milk you want, or real cow milk. You can sweeten it with stevia or any sweetener of your choice. Add a little pinch of salt to it. And for this recipe, I just simply popped it into my microwave. Yes, the convenience of modern day living. You can put this in the oven if you don't feel comfortable microwaving your food, but I have found the consistency to come out just outstanding in the microwave. And all you do, the main point here is when the food is done, when you're finished, when it comes out of the oven or out of the microwave, when it's complete and it has puffed up into a nice little bread, that is when you place it on some sort of a counter or an altar, whatever you like, whatever you choose, and go ahead and bow your head down to the ground and say whatever prayer you want to say to the Creator. And basically, you're going to the expression that I try to promote here is gratitude. So you want to have a feeling of gratitude and thankfulness, and offering, making this offering as an offering for the Creator, or whatever you perceive as the power, or the one, or gods, if you have many gods, whatever it is you pray to, whatever it is you worship as the spiritual force, power, you're going to give this as an offering. It's not just thank you for this daily bread, like in Christianity. It's not just like God thanks for this daily bread. It's not that, but you are offering it to the Creator as a offering, like just as if you would want to make something and give it to your loved one or your children. You're making something, and in your mind you're thinking, oh yes, I gotta make this good for my children so they'll eat it, I gotta make it just right. And then you're offering it to them, and you're giving it to your kids. In the same way, with that same attitude of love and devotion, you are making this for the Creator to enjoy, for the Creator to eat and enjoy it. And then you will take the remnants. So you make that sweet offering in your mind as you bowed your head down to the floor. The physical act of bowing is very good. It teaches us humbleness. It's very good to physically do it. So you bow your head down to the floor and make a simple offering, say whatever prayers you want, and in your mind you are thinking, I have made this for you, and I hope that you like it. I hope you enjoy it. This is for you. You see, that is the mentality. And then after this, the Supreme will eat it. No doubt. No doubt. And the Supreme eats with not the way we eat. Not that it's going to disappear in front of your eyes, but he will taste it, he will eat it, he can see with his eyes, he can eat with his eyes, and then you take the remnants. So that means now it's ready for you to eat, and it's been spiritualized. Now it has become spiritualized food, which is called prasadam. And you take this prasadam and you eat, and it transforms your entire body and mind and soul. So you take the bread, and maybe you warm up some milk and have that with it, and you make that offering, and then you eat. And this simple act, doing this every day, because you have to eat every day, you have to eat food every day in order to stay alive. So this one simple act alone, you can become liberated from this material world and go back home, back to the spiritual sky. So that's what I wanted to share with you. A very simple meal anyone can make. You can make out of a low-carb flour. You can make out of any flour. You could do, a flour of your choice and put the ingredients you like. Make a very simple bread. Use a simple recipe. And there you have it. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.